What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ultimate Majin. Today I'm going to be bringing you the new best red deck in the game. This is the Manga set Cell Leader. He is very broken, a lot of combos. He's like a Vegito, where if you fulfill his condition by sending an android to drop through skill, he'll gain 20k when attacking and draw a card. His artwork's super insane. This is the alt art leader from the new set, by the way. Shout out to my friends Adrian and Jose. These deck profiles I'm going to be bringing you from these manga sets wouldn't be possible without them too, so I want to give them a quick shout out. And also shout out Jaeger Materials. I have a link in the description to get you guys can get some play mats just like the ones I'm using here in my videos as well. This is their newest one. This is the Overcast one. So getting on with the deck profile, we got our Android 18. So we got 4 ones that draw a card, and then we have 4 of the new one, which on play lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add a 5 cost or less android card, not just battle card, but card, to your hand, and then also reduce something in play by 5k. And then these will also be the food for our cell cards later on in the game, so that way we can climb up our cell chain, keep our hand advantage up, fulfill our leader condition, and keep applying pressure. Next, we have 2 Android 18. It's a Self-Awakening blocker. This card's very good in my opinion. Tons of combos with this deck, actually, by the way. You're going to notice that when you start to play it. But this is mainly so that way you don't get locked out, and it has cool interactions with the 5 cost cell later on in the deck, where when KO'd it can revive an Android 18. So it's nice to flow into a blocker, and it doesn't recur in rest mode, by the way. It brings it up standing, so that's all very good. Next we have our Android 17s. I won't make this deck profile too long, but I will get some details in there for you guys, okay? So this one, he says, on play, discard an android card, battle card, of course, battle card, and draw 2 cards. So he's really broken. He's 15k pressure in the early game, so he does do a little bit to the leader. You can combo him off by going, like, attack their leader to play a card like Self-Destruct, and then kill something with a 30k after you, and then having drawn 3 cards, possibly taking a life and KO something within the means of that. That's a pretty good 3 energy combo, if I say so myself. And then next we have the 4 Android 16s. He's really awesome. He's active main. You can play this card in the battle area to the owner's drop, and then play an Android 16, or sorry, an Android 17 or 18 with the cost of 2 or less from your drop to your hand, or in play and rest mode. Sorry, I butchered that just now. But you can play any of these cards from your drop, which is really good. Either, draw 2, Self-Awaken, and then card advantage, right, through the 1 drops, and then they also can bring back food. And then, like I said, also trigger our leader effect, so that way we can swing for the 40k. Next, we have the 3 Android 16 from the last set. This guy's really awesome. He's just, 20k at their face, switch him sideways, KO himself, draw a card. He's really broken. And then minus something 20k, like I said. And then he's also a 10k. You're going to notice this deck has tons of 10ks. It has over, I think, close to 20, if not more than 20, including the super combos, which is really insane to think about. As well as this guy right here, you can play him off of. All these cards also, you can be played off of that new Android 17 promo card, which is really awesome. I think is the next card, or no. We have our Cell Juniors, actually. This guy is very broken. Very broken card. What he does is, if you have an Android leader and you have a cell with 30k or more attack power in your battle area, you could play him from your hand for free, reduce something by 5k, he's a 10k, and then he's also 15k that you can switch sideways. This card's really broken, in my opinion. I think that this card's a 4 of, at least a 3 of mandatory in the deck. I've actually closed out plenty of games with this card. Just sell off the top ropes, and then just boom, dump your hand in. Deck is really awesome for that cell card, the Cell Juniors. Next, we have like the Keflas, if you will. I guess we've been calling this is the 4 promo Android 17. What he does is on play, you can play a 3 or less Android card from your hand. And then when attacking, if an Android card killed something in battle, he can become a 20k when that's attacking battle cards or their leader. So he can become 40k unit in some instances, which is really awesome as well. And he's also an extender. Late game, I use him a lot more so late game than the early game to kind of apply a pressure by going like him, playing my possibly Android 16, swinging with both of those, Android 16, bringing back something from the drop, triggering my cell leader effect to swing for 40 more k. That's 3 cards right there, and my units are usually pretty strong as well, and then also in the meantime, like normally you can play like an Android 16 off of this guy. Android 16 will also go phase. We use his effect to draw a card, so we'll replenish our hand, swing again, replenish our hand. So all these combo lines are all pretty efficient as well. And then speaking of efficiency, we have the Cell guys. These guys are really where the deck gets nasty now. These are all 10Ks as well, by the way, like I keep saying. But on play, reduce something by 10. He's 25k unit, 10k combo play, like I said. And you can place him in an Android 18 in your drop, draw a card, and then play up to one cell 30k from your hand. So also, by the way, you don't have to play a 30k. You can then play up to one. So you can still send him 18 in the graveyard, draw a card, possibly even get lucky sometimes. I'm not saying that we'd want to do that. Like that's optimal, but sometimes you want to be able to trigger our leader effect. You'd still be able to do that. He'll replace himself, so that's at least good to know. He's also able to do that while sideways, and he also doesn't play something in rest mode, so he's gonna play this other cell out of your hand, which is the cell 5 cost, so he's a 30k, and then he goes on play, add a 4-drop Android card in special traits from your drop to your hand, so you can grab even the extra cards, the self-destruct one, and then if your leader's an Android only card, play Android 18 with the cost of 2 or less from your drop. So you can play any of these Androids that I showed you here, the KO one for the when KO'd effect. Sorry about that. And he can also when KO'd, right? Like so in the Broly matchup, they bring out the mandatory 9-drop. You'll get KO'd. You can bring out a blocker. So that's obviously really broken. You'll stop the 55k double striker at your face, depending on what kind of line they went through. If they have energy standing to go Shuddering Roar or not, on the blocker afterward, but. This guy, very insane card. Also, like I said, you can all kind of like do an infinite loop in a way where like all you need to do is really see one of this one and multiples of these. And as long as you see an 18, you can kind of like, play this one. He'll draw you a card, play this one out. He'll grab this back, and then you'll be able to play the following one the next turn, And that's what's really nice about the Android 16 2 cost as well, is because he really curves out nicely in the deck by being able to go like, all right, swing 20, bring back an Android 18 card, draw a card or +1, then chain those off, draw another card with the cell, right? With the 1-drop, then you can, that's all for 6 energy, draw another card, reduce something by 10, bring out this guy, add another card back, so that could be one of these, the 16, the Android 18, maybe even your Cell Juniors combo with earlier. Then you can swing with this. Your leader is also live at the moment if you haven't, if you're awakened, of course. And then when he's out, you make your Cell Juniors live, right? So now our Cell Juniors come out for free. We start reducing their board down. We can even swing with these. So this deck has an insane amount of pressure, insane amount of incursion, and hand advantage. It's like the Baby Rildo chain, but like when you replace the cards as they come out your hand, you replace them to the draw effects and the adding back effects that the deck has. Next, we have 2 red cell. This is the 5-cost one. He says, when attacking, choose a battle card with 10k or less power in your battle area and KO it. Your opponent's battle area, sorry. And then active main once per turn, place 1 Android card in your battle area till owner's drop. And then choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards to get minus 20k for the turn. So he's a 35k boss monster. He's really the boss monster in the deck. Like, true, like finisher almost. He actually like helps in like when they're trying to aggro you down and you just kind of play this guy on curve. He'll take out possibly up to 3 units on his own, depending if you have Cell Juniors, him, what they have in play, things like that. Because he can also swing into things that are sideways. KO another thing, and then everything got 20. So if they're 20 or less, they can get killed as well. And then you can combo that with the Cell Juniors, because you can go give everything an additional 5s. Then you can go swing with this dude, kill possibly a unit. And this is all like versus aggro, or even like swing face combo a 10 off, because the deck has a bajillion 10k. So you can go like make him a 25. Boom. Effect now. Send this to drop. Reduce 2 more guys. He's live now because we sent an Android. Then we can go like 35k into something. 40k draw again. Yeah, it's insane. Tons of combos, man. Also, you can add all of these Android cards off of our Android 18 right here. Even the big boss monster ones. So the deck is super consistent. We got 1 double striker. It doesn't come up all the time because the deck has so much pressure, but I like to have it. I'll never play a deck without the double striker, to be honest with you. There'll always be at least 1 double striker in my decks. And I think that this one's really good. This is like just the standard one. It comes up versus like yellow, green, things like that. You need to have at least 1. The deck draws so much, you tend to always see it. And then next, unless it's your only life, you know what I mean? But next we got the 4 super combos, self-explanatory there. And then we got 2 self-destruct. This card's obviously very broken. KO Android card, and then kill something with 30k or less. So like obviously in combination with all your reductions, you can like KO, reach pretty far with this card. It also draws you a card. You can also KO this dude with this, KO something else, and then he'll float back. And then you can play a 4-cost cell and bring out an 18, right? This would be like if he was sideways from last turn and they didn't want to tamper with him. Swing 30k, KO him off. Now bring out an 18, use one of those 18's effects. Play another 4-cost cell, which we grabbed off of our 5-drop the turn before, through his on-play effect. Then we'll go, do the whole cell chain again. Because like I said, we only need to see one of these. We'll end up having multiples of these guys. So like, yeah, those are just some of the combos. I'm gonna let you guys figure out a lot of those on your own, of course. But you guys heard some good stuff there. And the next is actually one of the underrated cards I thought in the deck. I was like, at first I built the deck, I didn't have any of these in. No, I had played 2. And then this card really just started shining. Unfortunately, it's not an Android-only card. It's Earthling/Android. So it's a little bit, it's like means of being recycled and like added. It's more so a card you have to see. That's why I played 3. It's also a self-awakening card, which is really awesome because, you know, you'll get there on your own with this deck no matter what. Because you can, like, recur this Android 18 a ton. And then also, like, reducing something by 20k is, like, literally insane. Because, like, I was getting around that new Kid Buu card with this. Because, like, you know, for 5 energy, what I can do is, you know, reduce the other guy with this 20k. Their 4-drop Kid Buu card, right? The one that rests all your stuff. And then just play the 4-cost Cell or some Cell Juniors. One of these guys. You know, tons of combinations of cards that the red stuff has. And then just KO it by game mechanics so it doesn't get triggered to when KO'd ability for them to draw and to rest our stuff. So I hope you guys like the deck profile. I hope I didn't spam you too much. I know I talked fast. This deck is really busted and really fun. Highly suggest this deck. Big red fan, as you can tell. I think I mentioned that a few times, or as you can see from the rest of my previous videos, my last deck profile. You guys have a good night. Bye.